Hello everyone, and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
But what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
So today we are going to take a look at another RISC-V based SBC. I always love it. RISC-V based laptop, SBC, tablet, phone, whatever it is. I just love to take a look at it. It's just good for competition. I know RISC-V is behind, I understand. There is also ARM, even on the server area, they are taking on x86, but it's just another type of processor. Having them in the game is just good for everybody. So I get excited. You're going to compare it to Raspberry Pi or something like that, and you say that one is better, this one is better. That's not the point. The point is having this RISC-V, and also this is a great board. So on its own, it's very powerful, it's very good, and they just came out with this pro version of it. So it's basically musepipro, and it uses SpaceMit M1 8-core 64-bit RISC-V processor, which comes with 2 TOPS AI power, they claim. So this is the box that I received. I received the 16GB RAM, 128GB eMMC version. So 8GB version RAM is like 120 something on the AliExpress and whatnot. So we are going to take a look at it. Is basically, it's like a credit card sized 1.8-inch compact board, and it comes with a UEFI boot with customizable options, and there's a grub loader for multi-OS support even if you want to. There is a standard mini PCIe. There you go. It's actually very neat, very nice. So it comes with the, oh, that is so nice. This is basically UART cable. You can use it not just for this, for everything. Okay. It comes with a small documentation. That is also very, very nice. Oh, it also comes with a stand. So for the bottom, you can put it on it, so yeah, to prevent shorts and whatnot. Okay, let me take it out so we can talk about the specs and everything. Wow, they don't kid. So when they say it's small, let me actually grab a Raspberry Pi 5. So this is a Raspberry Pi 5 with a hat, and this is it. So back to back, if you put it, almost identical, same size. The holes are in different positions, I guess, or not. Oh yeah, they are in the same position. So if you have something that the case or whatnot, it would sit on it without any trouble. And I just noticed that is so strange. I have never seen an SBC like that. If you know another SBC like that, let me know. But I have a lot of SBCs. I don't have any SBC that the main processor SoC is on the back. So let me know down below. Probably this is the RAM, and there's a micro SD card slot here. They provide bianbuos OS, which is Ubuntu based, but China developed, Chinese maintained, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna use what they are providing. In terms of if there is maybe, I don't know, the driver issues or some other issues, it won't be because of the OS. So at least I just want to use what the vendor is providing. You might not like the OS, you might like the OS, that's a different topic. We were talking about the specs, yes. So there is an HDMI port somewhere. Yep, there you go. This is HDMI 1.4 and can do up to 1080p at 60 Hertz. Don't go right away compare it to this, to 4K, whatever. RISC-V is kind of on its infancy. They are getting there. I love it, but you shouldn't really immediately just compare it to exact same specs in like x86. Like there is a under $20-40 x86 based SBCs as well, the small ones from Raxa and others, but this is RISC-V. So it's just they're coming out and things are getting better and better. Software support is catching up, and this is just good. This comes with a LPDDR4 RAM, and the speed is 2400 MT per second. And as I said, the RAM options from what I can see in their AliExpress and other stores is 8GB or 16GB. So that's just 2 options. For the eMMC, I think there's 2 options. One is 64, one is 128GB. As for storage expansion, you can use M.2 M key 2230 NVMe SSD up to 1TB, they say. I don't really know where that limitation is coming from. There is also a micro SD card. So if you really want a lot of storage, maybe you can use a bigger micro SD card slot. Just an option. As for wireless, there is the antennas right over there. So the antennas, I'm going to install it right there. So this one comes with Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2. Supports dual wireless with the M.2 slot if you want to. You see that in the bottom? You can put another PCIe slot, another Wi-Fi card, and have dual Wi-Fi if you want to. The Ethernet, this one is gigabit Ethernet. Don't expect 2.5. There is a 3.5mm audio jack. There is a USB-C power connector. connector. This is power delivery PD, whatever port. Okay, and all these USB ports are USB Type 3, 3.0. You will be able to connect relatively fast devices here. You can technically connect a USB 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connection through this. I've done this in the Raspberry Pi. I'm kind of sure it will work here as well, but I'm just saying. There is a 2-lane MIPI DSI for 15-pin displays, and there is one 4-lane MIPI CSI. It does have 22-pin interface, which you can connect cameras to. And the power delivery in here can do 5 volt, 9 volt, 12 volt, 3 amp. That's kind of pretty much it, I think. That's the Wi-Fi chip. There are 3 buttons over there: reset, power, and FDL, whatever. Yeah, this is so nice. Look at it. This is the star of the show. That's the main SoC. And yeah, it looks very nice. SpaceMate RISC-V M1. That's the processor. Yeah, I'm kind of sure that's RAM. That's storage, but I might be wrong. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So basically, we can put some heat sink over this and then mount it like that. And soon we can put a fan on it as well. I'm gonna check the GPIO. I believe it's very similar to this. If that's the case, I will use some fan that is for Raspberry Pi on top of the heat sink to just keep it cool. I'm thinking of running it this way for now and keeping the fan on top. All right, give me a couple of minutes. Let me set things up. Okay, so we are back, and I have to say, honestly, I'm impressed. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but when we are idle in bianbuos, it's 2.6 watts. It was always like 2 to 3, 2.5 watt. And I only placed a heatsink on it, and you can see the temperatures on the screen. It's fine. I tested it. And I have to say also that I am very pleased with this vendor because they are doing what I've been always saying, that out-of-box experience, 90% of things should just work, okay? I don't have to tinker and tweak every single thing for, like, I don't know, playback of a video or just getting basic things to work. So they have done an amazing job, and I just installed, as you saw in the fast-forwarded footage, just not installed, I just configured it. Basically, that's for time zone, username, password, all that stuff. And then I logged into a bianbuos where almost everything worked out of box. Even Ollama is installed. Look, if I go here, as you can see, I did not install the Ollama. It was right there. Okay, so kinda the great stuff pauses there, let's just say. The rest is great as well, but maybe not as impressive. Okay, so let me walk you through it. So you have the temperatures and stuff over there, right? So one of the first things I just noticed that the internet is not exactly as fast as I want it to be. And here you go. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do an iPerf 3 test, and as you can see, it's like 700 megabits per second. So it's not really gigabit, let's just say. That's the max speed. I mean, previous runs, it was even slower than that. It was like almost half the gigabit. It's okay, but it's not a gigabit speed. You gotta deal with those speeds. That's just the beginning. The other thing I wanna do, I want to run this stress NG test. So let's run the stress NG test. Keep an eye, okay? It goes to 6 watts. Probably not visible on the camera. I'm gonna tilt it a little bit. So 6 watts, okay, 6.2. It never exceeded that. I believe that's the max it goes. So 6 watts at 9 volt, by the way. It switched to 9 volt. I didn't do it. It just did the power delivery thing. And yeah, it went to 9 volt, 0.7 amps. So 6 watts, okay, 6.2. So that's kind of max it does. And when you're idle, it's always like 2.5 watts-ish. So as you can see, we are getting 2594. I don't know how accurate this comparison going to be. It's probably not accurate, but I just want to say in this particular test, in the very same test, okay, so Matrix Pro test with 30-second runtime, Raspberry Pi 5 scores 870 to 900, and we are here getting 2500. It doesn't mean it is faster than Raspberry Pi 5, but in this particular test, it is faster. So we are getting BOGO ops of 85 for this particular test. But now look what happens. So that's just one test. Another thing I want to show you guys is actually video playback. Okay, so let's start with a 1080p video. Okay, so it's actually a 4K video, but I'm going to play the 1080p resolution, and as you can see, it is going smoothly, not really dropping any frames. And then I am going to just jump straight up to 4K and keep an eye on the temperatures and keep an eye on the CPU usage. You can see it's like 80%. So it's playing the 4K, barely dropping any frames. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys, this is what I want in every SBC. Out of box, by the way, it goes like 6 watts. Out of box, everything should work just like this. So it can play, you know, it's dropping some frames here and there, but it's not that bad. I just wanted to show you, there are some stutters. I just noticed, there are some stutters as well, but it's going smoothly now, kinda. So that's the 4K, but 1080p, absolutely no problem whatsoever. And at least, you know, as I said, they got the things working. Another thing I want to show you is Ollama. So I tried a couple of them. The biggest one in here, as you can see, is the Llama 3.2. So we are going to try that first. Okay, so it loaded it, and now I'm going to say just something I just wanted to, okay, what is your name? Okay, just a simple question. And as you can see, the power consumption now going back again. There you go, 6.2 comes back, goes up, but when it starts responding, it is kind of stuck at 6 watts. Let's wait a little bit. It's still thinking. Okay, it started. Okay, so it's actually 5 watts. Doesn't go to 6. So it's 5.3 watts. 0.6 amp at 9 volt. It is going on. So yeah, let's wait for this to finish. Okay, so as you see, it's 1.1 tokens per second. But if we take it easier and go with, I guess, DeepSeek R1, and it's DeepSeek R1 1.5B, smaller model, let's just say. Total size of it is 1.1 gigabyte. So let this load, and we're gonna do the same question, and let's see how it does. Okay, so we are getting 3.5 tokens a second on this one. It's a little bit better, and the power consumption is same, 5 watts. That's the performance you should expect. 3.5 on 1.5B model of DeepSeek R1. Another thing I want to check, LSPCI-VV. I just want to see how it detected my NVMe SSD. So yeah, here it is. This is my NVMe SSD, and the speed is over here, X2. So it's downgraded. But that being said, I am still going to do the HT-Parm test, and let's see how it does. Not super fast, not terrible, it's good. Exact same NVMe SSD. When I place it in Raspberry Pi 5, I am getting like 800 megabytes per second over here. So it's much faster. Anyway, it's still okay. It's 557 megabytes per second. So that is also kind of acceptable, let's just say. So in general, I want to say this is one of the first and smoothest. And also I want to show you, I didn't even show you NeoFetch. So here's the NeoFetch bianbuos Star 2.1 RISC-V 64. The kernel was 6.6. That's out of box. I didn't update. And the rest of the information you can see on the screen. As I was saying, you saw that. So it's 6.6. And out of box, everything was there. I did not install GCC. I did not install Ollama. I did not do fixing the driver just to play a 4K video. Everything out of box was there. All I did was installing NeoFetch, Sysbench, and the P sensor, which is what you're seeing on the screen. Literally, I didn't do anything else. Everything you see on the screen was there, even though Llama models were there. So I'm just saying, out of box experience was near perfect. And it comes with GCC 13.2. And when you do like APT update, one thing I have to complain about, at least if you are in US, it's a little bit slow. And we are using the SpaceMid archive and repo. And this is what you're seeing. Only 5 packages were not upgraded. So it is literally up to date. And as you can see, it's still very cool and chilly. My room is right now around 70 Fahrenheit. So in this room, it's doing perfectly fine with no fan. And I didn't think it needs a fan. So I checked, I did multiple stress NG tests, and still the temperature didn't go above 64. So I kept it without a fan. Overall, what I want to say is basically it is getting there. Let's just say that, okay? Hold on, let me shut this down. Okay, so I know that's janky, but don't mind that. What I want to say is each port have a little bit lower than expected speed in terms of, let's say, the PCIe or Ethernet and so on. But that being said, this is getting pretty close to being a perfect, really easy to use SBC in the market. So how you put a Raspberry Pi and you install something and start using it, this is getting there. So 4K playback was fine, 1080p was perfect, NVMe SSD automatically detected, Wi-Fi detected, Ethernet, although slow but still working, and it was okay. Power consumption, the max, as you saw, 6 watts when we are killing it with Sysbench, StressNG, or Llama tests, right, when we were doing LLMs. So out of box LLM also worked. It comes with the build essentials and GCC and all that stuff. So if you are interested in RISC-V, so if you think you're gonna throw away Raspberry Pi 5 and you're gonna start using this as a Raspberry Pi alternative to, I don't know, play retro games or do some other things that usually people do in Raspberry Pi, running some bunch of servers. You can actually run servers on this, but graphic heavy stuff, probably not. Anyway, if you think you're just gonna throw away Raspberry Pi and start using this, probably not. But if you are interested in RISC-V, if you want to support RISC-V, if you want to develop for RISC-V, if you want to experiment with RISC-V, this is a perfect SBC for that. You have the SSD storage here, and there is a 1 terabyte cap, but still it's a lot of storage. You have 4 USB 3 ports. You have gigabit Ethernet, which 600-700 megabytes, let's go with that, megabits per second. And you have an SoC that really doesn't get hot. Everything they're providing to you basically works as you want, and the performance might not be perfect, but it works. Everything works. So yeah, this is definitely an SBC to be taken seriously in RISC-V. If you know any alternative or something similar to this, let me know. But this is one of the first RISC-V SBCs that impressed me, and everything out of box worked. I didn't have to tinker with anything to basically get it to work. Out of box, the OS was perfect. Even, as I said, Llama was there. So all the build essentials were there, and they took care of all the drivers, and everything was kind of working. Although I have to say, all that work is done on bianbuos. As far as I can see, it's only that. I hope that SpaceMed kind of considers other distros as well to support. Maybe like Debian at least, maybe Ubuntu. So yeah, I ran Nginx server on it, works perfectly fine. But yeah, you can do a lot of things on this, and you have GCC. Remember, you can compile a lot of projects on it and run it. Oh, before we go, I just want to try one more thing. So I got my hands on this. It looks very nice. So this is an Anker power bank. You can basically power this whole thing with this power bank with a solar charger or whatever, you know, use it as you go. So I just want to show you guys this power bank, which comes with a huge display, which is a big plus, especially when you are trying to do some sort of like a benchmarking or monitoring the performance and all that stuff, right? It comes with a USB-C in and out, so you can charge it from here or just, you know, power your device. And this is out only, so you can't really charge it, obviously. From here, you can see, press on it and it will show you the battery health. It will show you the percentage that it is charged. It will show you the temperatures, battery temperatures and all that stuff in high performance mode. And it is very stylish, and it comes with this USB-C connector as well, which you can take it out like that. And you know what? I'm gonna try to power this with this. So let me connect a USB port, an HDMI port. All right, let's plug that in. There you go. I am recording on the screen. Here you go. We will be able to, yeah, there you go. You can see that it is using 2 watts output right now. So you can use this along with something like this, an SBC, and power your SBC or any other project with this power bank, which is very fancy. As I said, especially love the screen, the size of it, where you can really see, you know, the power consumption clearly. It will show you the details, the temperatures and all that stuff. And it's 165 watts. It can basically charge 4 devices at the same time, comes with a USB-C cable, so it's a perfect device to keep with you in your travels. So yeah, this together, that's all, you know, it's empowering the SBC. So another USB-C port is right over here, which is retractable, so you can take it out, and then when you're done, there you go. It's 1 and it's 2 and it's 3 and it's 4. So 4 devices at the same time you can charge it. Love it. So if you guys like this, I will put the link in the description. Please let me know what you guys think about this or this, doesn't matter. If you want me to do certain tests on this, let me know. I will try to do it and keep you guys posted. One more thing I forgot to show you guys is actually the GPIO. So here is the full documentation of musepipro, which again, thumbs up to the SpaceMid team for having a near perfect, documentation. So here is the image for the GPIO pins, and here I have it opened up. So as you can see, this side closer to the bottom, so I found the ground pin and the pin number 37, as you can see in the bottom of the screen. Okay, so pin number 37, GPIO 37, and the ground pin, so ground to ground GPIO 37. So if we go to the terminal, as you can see right now, its default is 3.3. If I echo 1, it's actually 37. If I echo 0, it goes to 0. Echo 1 goes to 1. Okay, so what I did was basically I just done this in many other videos, echo out to sysclass direction, and also echo 37 to export. So I exported the pin GPIO 37, and as you can see, GPIO pins also work. So if you have a project that you want to do with the GPIO pin, documentation is perfect and it works. Okay, just want to add this there. Sorry about that. Thank you. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.